Hey y'all, I'm Nancy the Handy Scandy, and thanks for joining me for another crafty venture. Today I'm participating in a hashtag driven hop. This is day 2 of a 3-day hop. It's called Under the Sea, and today is hashtag Friday Under the Sea. So today I'm making something a little bit different, as you can see. I love rosettes, and I decided I would make a wall hanging today instead of a card. So I am using the Laviniastamps Mermaid, and her name is Zelith, Zelith. I will have her and the other products linked and listed below. I'm showing you my ink on 3 Black as Night embossing powder because I thought I was going to use this one that's already stamped and embossed. But once I get going, you know how your projects sometimes morph, this one morphed a little bit. So I'm using the Wildflower paper pad. It is by First Edition Papers, and the artist is Amy Sia, S-I-A, like the musical artist. So I'm just kind of flipping through and showing you what the papers look like. These are the papers that I decided to use for this project, and on that particular one, the bold one with the almost spots or splotches, I used the back side because, you know, mermaids. They're bright and bold and shiny and glimmery, so I wanted that opalescent paper, and that's kind of where my thought process takes a turn from using the black embossed one. So this paper pad is very unique. I've never seen one like this. The papers themselves are different. Some of them have that fabric texture, some of them are glossy, some of them are embossed. It's very fun. I bought this a couple years ago for a project for work, actually. So here are the papers that I've chosen, and with my trimmer I cut them down into approximately 4 by 12 inch strips, and you can see that I'm just accordion folding them. And you know, there's lots of different ways you can do the accordion fold. You can score it on, if you have a score buddy or something like that, you can score it at 1-inch spaces. I just used my my craft mat there, and I estimated about 1 inch, and I just started folding back and forth, back and forth. You know, different machines like my Cricut has some different designs, and it'll cut out decorative edges and little spots and things like that, but sometimes it's just as easy just to cut a strip and start accordion folding. You want your folds to be uniform, and mine are approximately 1 inch, and you want your folds to be really crisp. Now this is a 200 GSM heavyweight cardstock, so I pull out my bone folder to help me get these folds really crisp, because that's what makes your rosette, is those crisp folds. And if that end piece isn't completely the same size, it's okay. It's not a big deal, because they're going to be interlocked together, and you'll see what I'm saying here in a second. So here I have all 4 pieces accordion folded, and I'm starting to lay them out with the ends interlocking rather than butted up against each other. That one has a little too much. That little piece on the end was going to be butt up instead of interlocked. So I cut it off so that I could interlock them. And then I just use my hot glue gun. For me, hot glue works best. You could use wet glue, but it takes a while to dry, and you can't keep moving on with the project. So for me, hot glue's the thing. I've seen other people use score tape and things like that. There are lots of options, but again, this was what works for me. And so when I interlock them, I want the raw edge of that piece to go all the way down into the crease of the next. So I hope you can see what I mean. I can't figure out a better way to describe that to you. But anyway, you want to interlock versus butt up to get against each other, because when you butt, and I've done that many times, but it just makes for a thick, bulky crease right there where they meet. And so I just found that this makes a better joint. And so once you get all 4 of them glued together with the hot glue gun, then you glue the ends together so that you're making essentially a circle, and it looks like one of those old school lampshades. Anybody else know what I'm talking about? Are we dating ourselves again? It's okay. It's all good. It's better than the alternative, right? So here I have them all glued together, and I have a big circle. And so then I take the ends and I kind of squish them together, and this takes some practice. But then you push it down, and then voila, a rosette. So I just put the hot glue right down in the center, and I hold it together until the glue adheres. And it does take a little while, because again, this is heavyweight cardstock. So the nature of it wants to pull apart. So that hot glue really has to do a serious job. So I think I put like 3 different applications of the hot glue before it actually adheres, and then I flip it over and I put some on the other side as well. Got to get rid of those loose strings, right? Everyone knows how hot glue works, and those strings can be a nightmare. You just want to make sure you pull all those off. I've seen a lot of people take their hair dryer or their heat gun to those strings, and it just kind of melts them and they shrivel back up. Right there, I just showed you where I had a crease that was not crisp, and it was more of a suggestion of a fold than an actual fold. So I just took my fingers and I creased it. So here you can see I'm doing Zelith in a different way. I'm using my clear Versamark embossing ink, and I'm embossing over that opalescent card, or on top of that opalescent cardstock. I don't know if the camera just doesn't seem to pick it up, in my opinion. That cardstock is gorgeous. The shimmer on that, I mean, y'all know what opalescence is, right? Oh, it's beautiful. If I can find it, I will link this paper pad as well as all the other products that I use and can find. I'll list and link them down below. Zelith, I know I'll be able to find. While I'm doing this part, I just want to talk to you guys about this hop. So like I said, it is a hashtag driven hop, which means that you just enter the hashtag into the search bar on whatever social media platform you're using, and all the participants on that particular platform should pop up into a playlist. Now, we aren't doing exclusively on one particular social media platform. For instance, yesterday I posted on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm posting on YouTube, and I'll probably put a link on Instagram and Facebook as well, so that you can find me no matter where you're looking. But for some of us, they're just doing Instagram. Some are just doing YouTube. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be exclusive to one platform, but some people are doing it that way. So yesterday's hashtag, so let me back up. There are 3 days. Each day has a different project, and each day has a different hashtag. So yesterday was hashtag Thursday under the sea. Today's hashtag Friday. Tomorrow's hashtag Saturday. So real quick, I want to tell you about these embossing powders that I used. One was Brutus Monroe Succulent. It was part of the Embossing Powder of the Month Club. The other is Night Shift in Blue by Brutus Monroe. And then the third is called Verdigris by Hampton Arts. And this Verdigris is probably, I don't even know, 25 years old? I don't know. It's old. But I felt like they just all went together and added something different, even though the two greens, they're very different greens. And you can see that I missed a couple spots, especially right there on her face. So I just pop it back in the Misty, but the paper's really warped, so I do have a little trouble getting it lined up just right, not because of placement, but because of warpage on the paper. Because that opalescence is a little more sensitive to the heat than maybe just a regular cardstock would be. Or like I said, they have different textures. So the one that's like a fabric probably wouldn't be as sensitive to the heat as this one with the opalescence. So I hit those two spots with the ink again, with the Versamark ink, and then I add the embossing powder. And you'll see in a second, I didn't quite line her up right, so I have to take my paintbrush and clean up that edge a little bit, because I had her off just by, I don't even know, maybe an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch. It's not much, but I want it to be right. So again, you know I'm not a perfectionist, but I do want to do a nice job. So sometimes I just show myself grace and keep on moving, but if it's something that I can fix relatively easily, you bet I will. So here I have used some fun die cuts to die cut my paper pieces out. Those are the Pink Fresh Studios Essential Slim Cuts Slim Ornate Banner dies, and then I also used my Hero Arts Nesting Oval dies to cut out that kind of tealy piece. Now when you do rosettes, at least when I do rosettes, to me it's all about the layers. So you can make rosettes in all different sizes. This again is made out of 4x4 strips, so when you get your full circle, it's an 8-inch circle, right? Because the diameter is twice. Okay, I'm not going to go into geometry because we know that numbers are hard. So that piece I grasp in terms of numbers. But anyway, this is about an 8-inch circle. So with the layers, I like there to be another circle or another oval or another something before I start putting my top pieces on. Sometimes I'll use fabric. sometimes maybe just ribbon, just different things. I've used organza, I've used mesh, lots of different things. Anyway, so I glue that down. I put that pretty green watercolory ribbon, and that is from my friend Diane when we did our little crafty swap over on the Handmade Happiness group several months ago. And here I am layering Zelith on top of that green paper, and it just makes her pop. I thought I wanted to use blue, but I'm really glad I used the green. So I hot glue her down on top of the oval, and you see on that knot that I tied, I thought I wanted a bow, but I thought nope, this calls for a knot, and I left the ribbon hanging. I like that texture, and I like it, just adds some extra movement to it. I think I might go back and straighten that ribbon because it is, you know, it was wrapped around that piece of cardboard, so it has those creases, and I don't want creases in my ribbon. I want creases in my rosette, but not my ribbon. So here I cut a length of ribbon. I just estimated. You can, again, you can use whatever numbers you want to make sure that it's the length that you want. I glued the ribbon together, and then I glued it down to the center. I do come back later and I take those two pieces, the two, I don't know what to call them, the two sides of the ribbon, and I glue them down to the folds right above Zelith's head, and that helps her to lay flat against the wall where we have her hanging. And my sister fell in love with this mermaid. So guess where this rosette is hanging right now? It's in my sister's room. Oh, I'm glad it made her happy. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. Y'all know I love making cards. Love, love, love it. But I just wanted to do something different with this one. She's huge. I don't know if you noticed that, but she's probably 6 inches. I'd have to measure her. I'm not going to do it right now, but she's great big, and she's gorgeous. So that big bag of sequins also came from my friend Diane from that crafty swap a few months ago. Can you believe that? That's huge, and probably 95% of that bag came from her. I've added some other packs of sequins and shaker bits to it just to keep everything condensed in one place, but most of that is from her. So I end up choosing Gina Marie Designs. That's the acetate piece with the enamel dots. So I just use a couple of those tealy green dots, and I put those down towards the bottom, and then I use a mixture of the Studio Katya iridescent bubbles and then those two other packs. Those two other packs came from Diane, and I don't know who the manufacturer is. The one with just the different shades of green and white has like these, they're almost like pearls cut in half, and the others are bubbles cut in half with a flat back. They're beautiful. And then the purple and teal pack is actually called Mermaid, but I have no idea who the manufacturer is. And the same as the green pack. You know, there are some stars in here, there are some sequins, there's lots of the flat back pearls and bubbles. Oh, they're stunning. Absolutely stunning. And you know, she's essentially jumping up out of the water, so I want there to be lots of bubbles, like she's, you know, excuse me, shooting bubbles up into the air as she comes out. So they're coming up out of her mouth, they're flying back behind her, they're going to be in her hair. I think it's beautiful. Maybe it's over the top. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And if you would, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you would. I really would. And for all of you who are my subscribers already, thank you so much. You know, I say it every time probably that I wouldn't have a channel if it weren't for y'all. So I appreciate you more than you could ever know. And again, leave a comment downstairs. I'd love to connect with you down there. Let me know what you think of this. I know it's very different. Let me know if you've made rosettes before. You can make them all different sizes. I've made banners, and I've made gift tags. I've just added them as embellishments to cards. You can make them any size you want depending on the width of your strip of paper. So yeah, let me know what you think, and if you've ever used rosettes or made rosettes, because I can do a whole tutorial on rosette making if you want, and they're so much fun, and they're really very versatile. So anyway, like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell, all the things. I appreciate you guys, and remember that this is a 3-day hashtag driven hop with a different project and a different hashtag each day. Yesterday was hashtag Thursday under the sea, all scrunched together like one word. Today is hashtag Friday under the sea, all scrunched together like one word. And tomorrow, of course, is hashtag Saturday under the sea, all squished together like one word. And again, I hate to be redundant, but I just want to make sure that it's clear. This is not specifically on any one social media platform. So there's some of us doing blogs. We're obviously on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the different platforms. So enter that hashtag, whichever one you're looking for, and all the participants should pop up for you. So I'm having a good time. Yesterday I made a card. I shared her to Instagram first, and then I put her on a couple different groups on Facebook, and then today is this, and tomorrow will be something different. So here is my Zelith Rosette wall hanging, and look at that shine and that, oh my gosh, are you kidding? Isn't she stunning? And it's not because I made her stunning, but because she's an amazing stamp. Laviniastamps are fantastic. So here I took her out on the deck, and I got some of that natural light. And again, this is hashtag Friday under the sea, day 2 of the undersea hop. And this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and thanks guys for joining me for another crafty venture. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.